What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a full starters team. Now I took one of the, as the suggestion said, I took one of the Pokemon out from each gen, but instead of using the starters, I used the middle evolutions just for something a little bit different. Okay, make sure you leave your theme team suggestion in the comment section below as usual, and the highest thumb up comment will be the winner. If you do want your team shown on here, you can go to Patreon in the link in the description. Okay, so I had a PU team here, and was up against an RU team. Right, so I've got my Monferno as a lead here. I'm just going to fake out the Luxray. I can see that it doesn't have Intimidate, so I already knew that it was going to have Guts. Right, I knew that I couldn't take it out with a close combat. Luxray is fairly bulky sweeper, so I thought my Marshtomp would be a nice swap in there, as it's based around a defensive wall. Right, so that's a 3-hit KO, which is cool, with the Guts up too. Now I was thinking I should go for a Bulldoze, or maybe a Scald or a Rest. I decided to go for Rest in case they stayed in and tried to wear me down. Marshtomp is very, very handy on this team, so I didn't really want to lose him this early on in the game. Right, Ludicolo was coming in here. I was really scared of a Giga Drain or anything like that at all, so I have to. I can't stay in this one. It's a really, really terrible matchup. Okay, so I thought let's go into my Quilladin. This is a max health, max special attack with Choice Specs 1. I've got Sludge Bomb on this, so I thought this would be about a 2-hit KO if it's a sweeping Ludicolo. It set the rain up. Like I wasn't really sure what its EVs were, or it was a Rain Dish one or a Swift Swimmer. Anyway, so Gold Copper is going to come in, maybe expecting a Toxic, because they definitely wouldn't have expected a Sludge Bomb from Quilladin. I mean, it's Quilladin. A special set, what? Anyway, so Sludge Bomb does pretty much nothing there. And it's got Black Sludge too. So I was like, well, it's probably going to be a standard Cobra set, setting up the coils and, Gunk Shot, Earthquake, Sucker Punch sort of set. That's the usual one. So I swapped in my Marshtomp here. I thought he'd be pretty decent against this one. Since the rain's up too, I noticed it didn't have Intimidate. Sorry, it had Intimidate, not Shed Skin, so I could make use of that Scald there. I've got Bulldoze on this too, so I thought that'd be pretty handy. Okay, so Arbok's got a couple of coils up, which isn't good, but I am defensive, so I'm not going to get hit by its stab very hard. Sucker Punch isn't going to really work, so the only thing, if it does have Earthquake, it would have to hit Steel type Pokemon. Okay, so I get Rest Sleep Talk, but I actually get Scald this time, which is great. So that does some really nice damage there, and I get the burn too. So that's pretty much. The Arbok cannot really touch me at all. It can coil and core if it wants to, but I can just use Scald and Bulldoze and wear it down. Unless it had Rest or something, which wouldn't really make too much sense there. With Intimidate. Okay, so Earthquake does nothing, as you can see there. Hoping I got another Scald on this one, because that could pretty much nearly take out the Arbok. Of course I got Rest. I mean, you knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. It had to. I'm surprised it wasn't both of them, to be honest. Alright, so we got the Arbok burned and down below half health now, which is good. So it's pretty much crap. I can't do too much. There it's going to have to swap out, so all its boosts are gone too. Now, I knew we'd have the Ludicolo coming back in here. My Marshtomp is clearly keep drawing it out. So anyway, on that switch I went for Scald. I was hoping I could get a burn there to negate that leftovers on it, but to no avail there, unfortunately. But that's alright. I had plans to try and take this thing out anyway. It was quite a big counter for my team, right? Alright, so I thought, well, let's go into my Quilladin again, because I've got Choice Spec Sludge Bomb. Now, the Ludicolo is going to set up the rain again, which is cool. Now, I was like, well, if Arbok's going to come in, it's still going to have to take a Sludge Bomb. And that's not going to be good, because it's already on low health. So, and I knew that I could live a Gunk Shot, because it's burned now. So, I didn't think it would be coming in. So, we have Druddigon here coming in. So, I went for, as I said, I went for Sludge Bomb there. Does some pretty good damage there. I'm happy with that. And I get a Poison, which is great. So, that was really good. Okay, anyway, so yeah, it's getting close to half health already down, so I was like, well, it's probably going to go for something maybe like Dragon Claw or something. So let's go into Marshtomp, tank that, and maybe go for Scald or Bulldoze again. Okay, so it goes for Glare here. Now, Glare is a really, really annoying move. That's going to paralyze me. But I do have Rest, so I can get rid of that, so it's not all that bad. So it's in quite bad health now. I'm going to go for the Scald, and unfortunately it has Rest there, so that Toxic really didn't matter at all. So I was like, as soon as it's all Rest, okay, it's going to be a bulky Sleep Talker. And that sucks, because there's not, there's nothing on my team, like look what I'm using. There's nothing on my team that can really one-shot this at all. Maybe maybe Monferno was the only one that I had a chance, or my Charmeleon. Okay, so Lord Helix is going to come in. I went for the Bulldoze here anyway, just to drop its speed a little bit. That was good because I knew this thing always it always sets up Shell Smash like every sort of set there. Went for Bulldoze again here. Helix is going to go for the Shell Smash. I'm like, okay, well, it's probably got Wide Herb, because this next attack is going to come really close, maybe taking it out there. Okay, so it's got a Shell Smash up there. That's it. It's pretty scary there, but I have hit it with the Bulldoze twice, so its speed won't be like it is after the normal Shell Smash. It just hangs on to that one. I was like, okay, maybe it's going to have Hidden Power Grass or something, and it goes for the Hydro Pump there and takes me out, which was that was a pretty risky move there. Hydro Pump's not very accurate, so that's my that's my Marshtomp down, which sucks because that was a really handy Pokemon. Now, Helix is going to go for the Earth Power here, and I get freaking critted by it, which really sucks there. I actually went for the Sword Dance for the Aqua Jet. I got Sword Dance on this, Aqua Jet, Aerial Ace for any grass types and such, and just to hit anything outside of water types too. Okay, so that's Helix down to the Aqua Jet. That's good. Good to get rid of him. Now, we got the Druddigon coming back in here. Unfortunately, I got critted before, so I know this thing's already going to have the rough skin. So I thought, well, it would have been nice if I was able to get 2 attacks off it. None of the other Pokemon could have swapped in either, like Ludicolo and Arbok. They definitely couldn't have swapped into that boost, like any boosted waterfalls like that either there. So I had Aero Ace too. I was actually planning on using Aero Ace as a second move in case I swapped, but I didn't have enough health there. So it's going to go for the Sleep Talk Rest, so I would have been fine to use another move. But that's just how it is. So I'm going to bring in my Charmeleon here. I've got Life Orb with this. I've got Dragon Pulse, Ancient Power, Hidden Power Grass, and Fire Blast. Okay, so going for the Dragon Pulse here, that does not very much to Ludicolo. It's got very nice base special defense anyway. I was hoping that Druddigon would stay in. Right, so I thought, well, it's probably going to expect me to swap here, so I'm going to go for Fire Blast myself and try and get some solid damage on it, and maybe take it out the next turn. So I was half expecting maybe a Rain Dance, like a Leech Seed or anything like that. Okay, so it's going to set up the Leech Seed here, which is good. So I predicted right there, so rest of the team aren't going to be really thrilled to swap into a Fire Blast either, so I thought this is good. I should be able to get rid of Ludicolo here, unless someone tries to swap in here, and if the Druddigon comes in, I could just use Dragon Pulse again. Okay, so I'm going to go for the Fire Blast here again, and that's going to be enough easily to take out the Ludicolo there, which is good. That thing was quite a big threat to my team there. Actually, it was a really, really big threat to most of my team. I think it could hit all of my team for super effective, so I was very worried about that. Okay, so Arbok's going to come in here and use Intimidate, which is going to do nothing. It's burned, so its attack is rather bad, so I knew it would go for Sucker Punch. It's just a standard Arbok coil set that I've seen loads of times, so I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse here, and it doesn't quite take it out due to Arbok's nice special defense. I didn't really want to miss with Fire Blast. I could have gone for it again, but I had a feeling like I already got 2 in a row, so that was a lot for me to hit in a row, so I thought best go for the Dragon Pulse. Okay, so I was thinking here, well, it's either going to go for a Sucker Punch or a Gunk Shot, expecting me to swap here, right? So I thought, well, let's go into Quilladin. I can afford to lose that. It really isn't that powerful. It isn't really a powerful Pokemon on team. The Choice Specs one. So Gunk Shot lands and, tries to land and it misses there, so that's good. I knew that I'd be able to live it because it's burned, but, I was prepared to lose it anyway just to revenge kill Arbok afterwards. Okay, so it's going to go for Gunk Shot again, and that does well over half my health there. I'm going to go for Giga Drain here, Choice Specs, to take it out, so that was down. But it really wasn't a problem. It was sort of irrelevant earlier on in the match when I burnt it, so that wasn't really the big threat. It was more like the Druddigon, and the Luxray was still left, and the last Pokemon. Okay, so Luxray's going to come in here and use Facade. I was happy just to keep it in to get a little bit of burn damage on the Luxray there. So down goes my Quilladin, and I already lost my defensive wall to a little bit earlier on, so I didn't have anything to swap into that. Okay, I really didn't have too much to swap in apart from both my tanks. Okay, so I knew Luxray would swap out there because it doesn't want to take a Fake Out then a burn, so I knew the Druddigon would come in. So I went for Fake Out anyway, just in case it didn't. I thought that'd be a safe bet. It does a little bit of damage there. It probably does more to me, or did more to me, with a Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet combo. Alright, so I wasn't really planning on facing threats like this, so I just went for close combat and hoped it would kill. Unfortunately, it's terribly bulky there with the Sleep Talk Rest set, and I'm going to get rough-skinned and rocky helmeted again. Okay, so I'm nearly taking this thing down, hoping it just gets sleep talk rest again, because it's a real big pain in the ass. I know that I go down to like a dragon claw or something, but it gets glare, so that sucks too. So it's going to get rid of my nice speed. Okay, I do still have Fake Out, and I still do have Mac Punch on this too, so it wasn't like the worst possible outcome there. Okay, so I go for Mac Punch before I can go to sleep again, and that's going to take it out, which is good. So there was a Luxray left as the main physical sweeper. There. Okay, so I knew that would come out again because now I don't have Fake Out, and it's still got quite a bit of health there, so I need to keep that. So I thought the best Pokemon I can swap in here would be my Bayleaf here, because it's very, it's more bulky in special defense, so I knew that I wouldn't, be able to take, check it at all, but I thought 2 rounds of burn would be nice on it. Okay, so it's going to go for the Facade again, and like I said, there wasn't much I could do. I just swapped it in there for 2 rounds of burn. Now I've got my 2 fire Pokemon left, so I thought, well, I could swap in my Charmeleon here and just go straight for Fire Blast. Like, Luxray is definitely not going to be able to live that one at all, and it's going to get outsped too, even if it's Jolly Nature, because I'm running Timid Nature. Now, Lapras comes in here, and Fire Blast lands. I was happy about that one, so that's good. That does loads to Lapras there, so it's about a 3-hit KO, so I thought, well, if I can get the next one in, I can pretty much see if I can wrap this game up, because I do have Mac Punch on it. And unfortunately there it misses, which really did matter there, so that's my Charmeleon down. I used Whirlpool, which was interesting, so it must be maybe like a Toxic Whirlpool set or a Stoli set. So my last poke here I've got is my Monferno. I'm going to go for Fake Out here on the Lapras, just to get a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, Lapras is very bulky, and I'm only using a very low base power move, and only using a Monferno too, so it doesn't quite take it out there. Lapras is going to go for the Perish Song. I thought it might just go for a water move, but then again, Whirlpool doesn't have the greatest accuracy in the world. Maybe they didn't want to risk missing with it. Now the Lapras is going to go for Protect, so it's a Perish Song Protect Lapras. I just went for the Mac Punch there again. So my Perish count is down to 2. Lapras is going to go for Protect and somehow gets the second one off, which really sucks there, so that's gonna be bad. Mac Punch is going to fail again, and the Luxray is going to get out of getting hit by Mac Punch too. So there's my last Mac Punch to take out the Lapras, but unfortunately my Perish count is going to take me out there. So bit of an unlucky ending there, but really on whole, that was a really good battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was fun using this style of team too. Okay, peace out.